Hey, it is Tuesday night. Welcome back to Grumpy Acres. I am not here by myself. Angela just wandered in and went sat down over next to the island. I don't know. You gonna come join us? I didn't ask you to? Okay. All right. Looks like you just got me. Are you coming? All right, guys. I hope everybody had a good week. It was productive around here. Let's see who we got in the chat. We got Scanes was the first. We got Terminator in the house. Jane popped in. How you doing, Jane? Lynn's here. Corn Pop 2.0 is here. Hope everybody did have a good week. Remember, get into the live chat. Don't be in the top chat. All the cool kids are in the live chat if you're on YouTube. If you're on Rumble or X, come on over to YouTube if you want to comment. I'm not sure if you can comment from Rumble or X, but we'd love to have you join us. Rescue just popped in. Rescue, did you see my message about your sunshade? I think you take 6 flagpole holders, the cheap aluminum ones, put poles in them, and then 2x4s and just run wires between them, and you got a cheap, effective sunshade screen. Rescue's been trying to shade his tomatoes from the sun because it's getting kind of hot down here, and that's kind of been the topic this week here too. It finally got to the point where the weeds quit growing. We've reached what I like to call the dusty season in Northeast Kansas when it's not raining and you can walk down the road and kick up a cloud of dust that'll hide a car. But it was hot. The plants are suffering from it. I think the other night I measured about 100 gallons of water onto the garden over where the bamboo used to be. Everything's looking kind of rough. Not gonna lie. Greg's in the house. Hope you're doing well up north. You gonna get in the frame?
I mean, I guess I can.
Probably be beneficial. Some disembodied voice off to the side.
Depends on who you ask.
He got his sunshade up. Used 4 landscaping timbers and some pallets. There you go, pallets. That's always a good, useful building material. We got a bunch of pallets. We're going to be doing some pallet projects here too. So what happened around the homestead this week, other than it being hot?
Nothing really. Just trying to rescue plants and get all that stuff done. Quit licking me. Trying to get all that stuff done, and then Scanes came up, got some of her stuff done, and well, I think she did anyway. That was a quick here and there, and then she'll be back. And then I had to work most of the time, so not a lot I can do.
Scanes had adventures with road debris.
Yeah.
And had to spend some time, got to see the local Walmart as she was waiting for a tire to be changed. What time did you end up getting home there, Scanes?
Shoot, 5 o'clock this morning, I think. I got a message. She pulled into the driveway.
But it's gotten to the point now. So if you live in this part of the country, your air conditioner will freeze up because it's really hot and humid during the day, and at night it cools down. And if your vents on your air conditioner aren't cleaned up, your lines will freeze. So you got to turn it off and let it thaw out. Go clean off the fins on the AC unit, and just rinse and repeat.
11 a.m. this morning.
Oof.
But yeah, so
and she'll be back Friday. Like I said, we can't get rid of her.
Dogs are acting weird. So I don't know. I think it's from me being gone. Have you noticed every time you're out there working with Dolly, she disappears for a little bit?
Because she comes and sees you when you come in.
She meets me at the driveway. Well, I leave my door open to the car, and while I unlock the gate and get it open and do all that, she jumps in the car, gets in the back seat, enjoys the AC because I have to pull up a little bit, and then I shut the door for her, and then I shut the gate, and then I pull forward, and then park. And then I have to open the door and say, okay, it's time to get out. And then she'll go back to work.
Yeah, she's enjoying riding in the vehicles now. She used to hate it. Used to
Mm.
freak out if you put her in the vehicles, but now she likes jumping in there, and we'll ride around the farm in the truck if
Yeah.
I'm moving stuff around with the truck. But she's growing. She's getting more confidence. She probably did the best she's ever done herding animals the past couple of days. Well, not so much today, but the 2 days before, because she stuck with them all the way into the pen. Usually when I whistle, she'll work them about halfway up to the pen, and then she'll run over and sit by the fence. Cause I guess if she sits by the fence, it helps guide them in or something. I don't know, but, she'll sit, but the last 2 nights, she worked them all the way up through the gate, which was really good. And she did a good job too. She was paying attention and listening to me and following directions. So we'll get her there someday.
I think so. One of the other things that's going on is my sweet potatoes are never ending. So I have more and more slips coming, and we're going to run out of growing space.
No, we got all kinds of growing space.
Well, growing days.
Oh, growing days.
So I think what I need is deep tubs of dirt, loose dirt. We can have them out now, and then just as it gets colder, pull them into the greenhouse.
Just use those ones right there by the deck, because we didn't.
You didn't cover those potatoes like I asked. It would pull the potatoes out and then put them in there.
I don't think there's any potatoes in there, but the chickens got in there and ruined the plants.
Yeah.
And then the deer, there's only like 4 or 5 slips left out there in the garden because the deer got into it.
Hey, you got to be kidding me.
Nope. Telling you,
August, September,
I'm telling you guys, it's always, there's all kinds of critters around here. If it's not our sheep and goats or the dogs and the chickens, it's the raccoons, the possums, or the deer. And I know it was deer because I saw the hoof prints in the garden. Yeah. So
I don't know what a salt tub is.
that's the
Mineral
mineral
tub.
tub. Yeah, those are called mineral tubs here. The big blue ones. But yeah, so we need to, and those were growing really well till the chickens decided that they needed to get in there and tear up the vines and everything. So
Yeah.
we'll figure it out. We'll get stuff in. Here's the deal.
I mean, obviously we're meant to have sweet potatoes, or that dang thing would have died by now. It should not be doing what it's doing. I mean, I'm talking the vines are going all the way down to the ground and all the way up. They're, shoot. What would you call that from the table up? Good. About 3.5 feet, 3 feet.
Welcome to the deer party. That's why I built cages a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I think I'm just we need to find our bone sauce and put it out there.
I may just order another tub.
Another jar.
Yeah, tub, whatever.
Okay.
So they're not another container. Does that make you happy? So we'll just order another container and then kind of decide what to do from there. But he didn't originally want to use it because he wanted to hunt, but he's not hunting. So now the food is more important, I think, from the garden. But did you see? I don't know if I showed you. I saved the paper. There's an article in there about getting on a list to be able to hunt the federal land. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's in the paper. You just got to sign up for it, and they tell you when and where.
I just got to have time. I got places to hunt. I just need time.
So anyway, we'll figure that one out. But
yeah, Skane says a tub of Billy's bone sauce would be about $1 million.
No. Just somebody needs to get out and get trained on doing it. The problem is to get trained on doing it is what do you say, 2 weeks? Something like that at minimum? 2 weeks?
Idea.
I think
that's a Darren question.
I think that's what Darren said, 2 weeks. So, but anyway.
So anything else happen around here?
Not around here. It's been the same old around here.
We Killing came over and that's the beast for anybody that's been watching the channel. He used to be a young kid. He's grown into a young man now. He came over and helped Friday and Sunday, and we got a lot done. Looks like scrap metal is less than $100 a ton now, but I I took $1,000 down, or 1,000 pounds down on Saturday. Managed to get enough to make a run to the landfill. Okay, so they call it a landfill here in the county. It's not really a landfill. It's a transfer station.
Which I think is weird.
It is weird that they call it a landfill. I mean, they've got a place where they used to have a landfill because they were over there working it, but right now they apparently don't put stuff in it. They take it someplace else, which is fine. But for $23, I got rid of 8 big barrels completely full of trash and some old vacuum cleaners and floor scrubbers that didn't work. So, you know, it was worth it. So that's the plan for the next 3 or 4 weeks, is to load up on Friday night, go down there Saturday, get the money, come back up and load up with trash and take the trash over there and get rid of it. And hopefully I can make a dent. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get all the trash out of here, but I'll get most of it.
Skeens, are you sure that we have a lot of skunks, or we have a lot of skunk smells?
I've only smelled them. I've never seen one here.
I've seen them dead on the road, but I've never seen one.
Mr. Zeg's here.
I know one sprayed because it sprayed in the front yard, but that was years ago, wasn't it?
No, I smelled one last week.
Did you?
Homestead twins are in the house.
I
Hope everything's going well up north. Oh, sure could use some of that cooler weather though.
We're supposed to get a break tomorrow. Tomorrow night.
Last 2 or 3 nights have not been bad. It's been dropping down in the upper 60s. So with the AC freezing up, it's not been a real big thing because, you know, wake up at 3, 4 in the morning, turn the AC off, open the front door and the back door, and let it cool down in here and let everything melt.
Yeah, no, I was thinking the other skunked one, but okay. Still not an animal, but the other. You be driving by somewhere, you know, somebody's smoking pot. It just stinks.
Skeens actually thought she had one stuck in her truck.
Oh, wow.
Never had that happen, thank God.
No.
So that's about it. Did not get any work done tearing down the trailer, so I have to make some time either Thursday or Friday to do that. Got some other chores I got to take care of on Thursday and Friday. Hopefully I can get everything done so I can make my scrap run on Saturday.
When's that gate supposed to be here? Just got to make time for that too.
The kit's going to be here on Friday, and they'll make it this weekend.
Okay, got to get that up.
I don't think they're going to. I don't think a week after we had the conversation they're going to be coming over to our house.
Oh no, you never know.
But
of course, there was an article. I'll have to show you. There was a thing. Apparently, someone has been making phone calls to talk to people. You wouldn't have seen it because you're not on Facebook.
Yeah.
But I'll show you.
Bill says his transfer station, he calls his alternate storage facility, has scored hundreds of plus in tools and supplies.
Yeah.
I don't know. There didn't look like there was much worth picking there when I was there. I know that the guy that was running the machinery for it,
he didn't really give you time to do
that,
did he?
was pulling stuff out. He pulled some
was he?
lawnmowers and stuff out, but I don't know if that's the county or that's just him.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a big deal. So the other big thing that happened this weekend is we had a community meeting, and the community meeting revolved around the county commissioners. Shocking that the county commissioners would do something to make us talk about them. So here's the latest of what's going on here in Jackson County. So they released a resolution, did not leave any public comments or anything like that. They just passed a resolution saying that they were going to start inspecting people's property to ensure compliance with zoning and building codes, building stuff, making sure everybody had a permit. It's funny how everything that they do always comes back to money, doesn't it? It's just kind of weird. So anyway, they put this notice in there and letting people know that they will be inspecting. They will come on your property. If you don't let them on the property, they'll go get an administrative warrant and just all the stuff that's involved with code compliance and stuff, or permit compliance. All right. Here's the thing about it. We were talking about this. So everything that they denoted in this resolution, which was printed in the paper, everything that they denoted was already on the books, was already law, was already procedure, was all this other stuff. So what this resolution was, in my opinion, this was the county commissioners shot across the bow of everybody, telling everybody that's been complaining about the way they behave and how they spend our money that they were in charge. And it really, quite honestly, from where I'm sitting, looks like a great big giant middle finger in the faces of everybody.
This really puts the big finger out, doesn't it?
No, it really does. It really,
Yep.
If you read it and you look at the entirety of the situation, it's a great big giant middle finger to people.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And they just like every other politician, they couch it in public safety and health.
They're so concerned for our health and welfare. So concerned.
Oh, you got your glasses.
I can get you a pair of readers real
yeah,
quick.
give me a pair of readers real quick. I'm gonna see if I can find the exact wording so that you can see what I'm saying. I got the newspaper. They had to, because they passed it. They had to put it here.
You want pink or purple?
I don't care. You know what, Spags? Here's the deal. We can't, at this point in time, we cannot be those people. Like my pink glasses.
Well, I could have got you purple, but.
Contractors. Oh, whereas the Board of County Commissioners of Jackson County, Kansas, is vested with the authority and duty to protect public health and welfare. All right, here's the deal. On my property, and I will say this to their face. On my property, it's not the county's job to protect me. This is my property. And I find it extremely offensive that the people that are sitting out there in the county commissioner seats think that they're so important that they need to be watching out for my public welfare. And the funny thing is, for 20 some years, they didn't do squat about this place. They didn't say, the county said absolutely nothing.
Well, it dilapidated.
While it literally fell down, while it was overgrown. It had noxious weeds on it. And what's really funny about that is you could see it from the road, and the county noxious weed guy went up and knocked on our neighbor's door because they could see Johnson grass and Lespedeza from the road.
Yep.
And so they only do this to people that they think they can boss around, and they think are going to put up with it. Well, I'm gonna play the game as much as I feel like it, but eventually they're going to get to a point where I'm just going to tell them no. You know
what the difference is?
What?
Our neighbors didn't have no trespassing signs, and they didn't have gates. That's the difference.
Yeah. Well, and that's been the project. The project after the meeting on Saturday night was getting no trespassing signs up, and the gate that she was talking about. I'm building a walking gate next to the drive-through gate because there's a space in the.
There's a gap, and I do use the gap to go check the mail and that kind of thing.
The comment was made that if a Girl Scout can get to your front door, then law enforcement or a government agent can get to your door.
So we're going to eliminate the gap.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that. And what's really cool about it is there's it's less than a foot wide on the other side of that between the trees and everything, and where the awning. I'm building an awning out of a hog panel and ivy. But that gap right there, you could squeeze through. But there's also those really, I call them stop me vines.
Prickly bush.
I call them stop me vines because if you run into them, they'll stop you.
They're gonna get cut.
So I'm gonna take and pull those and start working them into the trees right there, so it makes a nice little natural fence. And I fully expect to come under their gaze because number one, we've been vocal
and getting ready to be more vocal.
Yeah, and we're going to get more vocal. And number two, we're part of a group that they are having their eye on, right? And we did some stuff that in retrospect probably was not the smartest thing to do, but it was done thinking we lived in a different environment. To be honest with you, we put some videos out that I probably should not have made, and I probably should have just.
Oh, I'll talk to you later, Dad. I meant to
I
talk
took
to
them
you
all
about
down.
that. Yeah, it doesn't matter. They're still out there, but I'll talk to you about that a little bit more. We might be okay. Dad had some ideas on that.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think unless somebody has just a complete wild hair up their ass for us, I don't think they're going to go digging.
The only problem is that if somebody's got a problem with you, anybody can go file a complaint and they can check the box anonymous and you'll never know who it was.
Yeah,
you'll never know. It could be one of the commissioners. You'll never know.
Well, and the same thing can be done. I mean, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Mm-hmm.
We're
because we know one of the commissioners that has a lot of noxious weeds on there. A lot on his property. Oh yeah.
No.
The very one we won out of office.
No. So we'll see how it goes. We have done nothing wrong as far as I'm concerned.
Nothing.
All the buildings that we've done have been.
We made sure we complied. We were under 20 by 20.
Yep. But that doesn't mean they still won't. They still won't come snooping around. And there's the other thing. So the inspector, when we moved in, let himself onto the property, and I did not realize that he did what he did until last week. I knew that he made her uncomfortable.
I told you what he did.
You didn't say anything.
I even told Spags what he did. Spags knows what he did.
You didn't say anything about him looking in the windows and taking pictures.
Like literally cornered me and went and did whatever he wanted. The electrician that was over here, McGonigal, was the one that stepped behind me at the front door and said, "You're not coming in here," because he wanted inside the house. And the electrician was the one that said, "You're not coming in here. You're not."
I knew
welcome.
that. I knew that, but I didn't know he was taking pictures.
Oh my gosh! Cornered me. Wanted to know who our mag was, and I said, "My husband will be home at 5:00. Feel free to stop by and talk to him. I don't know what you're talking about." And literally after 5 times, he said, "Quit playing stupid with me. Who's your mag?"
But. So yeah, and he's not working there anymore though.
Are you sure about that? Because I thought
they got a new one. I thought they got a new one.
Maybe there were enough complaints. I have no idea. Because the guy was out for himself. He wasn't out for us.
Well, and there's a thing there. Yeah,
well,
Spags.
I mean, what was I supposed to do, Spags?
No,
we had just closed on the house. We were, I knew he should be there as a real estate agent. I knew he should be here. But at the same time, I've never, ever had an appraiser corner me like that, ever. So, yeah, no, very bothersome.
Yeah, and then we find out that the county over the last 3 or 4 years, it looks like they burned through. I think I talked about this last week, that they burned through all the surplus money, and that came up a little bit this weekend too in the meeting. So we are going to we as a group are going to try to stand firm. Again, I don't know how much people are willing to fight and how much pain people are willing to go through for this. To be honest with you.
Well, apparently, even though there were phone calls made to make people feel better, that a commissioner reached out. Apparently, the meeting today did not reflect what happened on the personal phone calls. So we do need to get on and watch that. They did it during the day.
Their commissioner.
They do it during. Yeah, they do it during the meeting. Well, today's Tuesday, and they did it during the day. They didn't do it at night. So that video gets posted. I saw it. I think about 5 was supposed to be posted in about 2 hours. So it should be on by the time we get. Well, it should be on now.
On the Northeast Kansas.
No, it's actually a different one. Somebody else videotaped it. So I did snapshot it so I didn't lose it. So I know where it's at. So we'll look for it and go look at it.
I left a 20-foot or so buffer trees around and bushes around so no one can tell what I'm doing. And that's
what we did, and we thought it was enough.
Yeah.
So
let's see here. Anti's in the house. He's saying I'm making a lot of money flipping cells at Alligator. There you go. That $1,000 is pretty good. Here's the deal. Here's the deal with that. We can joke about that. I said it last week. I'll say it again. That could very easily be turned against patriots and conservatives and Christians. It could very easily be done. And to think, if you honestly think that the political temperature is going to be the way it is now,
Spags, you're right. You're absolutely right. So this is what they did. And this is what we keep trying to tell Skanes and tell everybody else, because they're like, well, I'll just set my building 15 feet back or 5 feet here or 7 feet there and that kind of thing. They're doing this all aerial. That's how they're doing it. And that's what brought everything up.
Yeah. They contracted a company
out of Washington
that flies. They fly a grid over the county and they take photos from different angles. They videotape it from different angles. And
they can see all the new roofs.
They can create a 3D map of the county.
Right.
And that's what they did.
And they're doing it every year.
Yeah.
And so, this is a problem, a huge problem. And they said, well, we can't tell what's a semi truck that's been moved. We can't tell if it's a trailer that's been moved, which is why they want all the recreational vehicles off of the property, off the land. Well, screw you, come pay for it and you can take it. I'm not going to do that. And so, which we are, but we're going to turn it into something else. And so, but I'm like, something's got to give here. This is not right. So we do have some attorneys looking at it. Chris Kolbach,
we don't tag
does. Well, I think tag speaks for, but I think he's trying to help not just him, but a lot of us. And I want to say that only because I know the information of what they got and that kind of thing. But it's not just one person. It's going to take all of us. So, but he got things into the right hands. So, and I do believe with somebody else's help though, as well, so that we knew where to get it. And so that got done. So hopefully, well, of course, these things take time. So we'll see what happens. But, definitely the Fourth Amendment right has been violated. And I would go to say, as far as First Amendment right has been violated a couple times, we've been able to fight that. But as the more nasty this gets, I think the more we're going to have to fight for the First Amendment right. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Lynn, you're 100% correct. What's going on in Jackson County, Kansas, is happening in
all over
every county in the nation. So if you sit here and we're complaining about us and thinking, oh, I thought Kansas was supposed to be a bastion of freedom.
This is everywhere.
No.
Maine's going through it. There was a farm not too long ago that what is it called? What Angie works for, you watch it all the time. Not Land Keepers, it's something else. Shoot, I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, they were helping a farm up in Maine that was being kicked out. They were trying to take their 40 acres because it was in the middle of downtown. And so they were going to take their farm, even though they've been there for, I think it was like 500 years or something like that, 200 years.
You talking about the one I talked about last week?
I don't know.
Cranberry Township, New Jersey?
No, this one was in Maine.
Okay.
And so I saw this maybe 4 months ago, 4 months ago, something like that. But so there's a lot of this stuff that happens. And so you do have a lot of people that'll come in and fight for you. But yeah.
Okay, Gregory, first off, if you want to go back in history, the county appraiser way overstepped his bounds. But the point is not that they have violated it yet.
It's the point they will.
The point is that everything that's been done here has opened the door for them to do that under the auspices of legality. And, you know, they make a comment in the resolution that says nothing that's found by county employees or contractors will be turned over to law enforcement yet. We know from somebody that's had personal experience with the conversations here in the county that the state of Kansas and the county has tried using these county inspectors and all that to forward information to get criminal complaints against people. To think that the system will not be abused is naive. It really is naive. You know, and so we're trying to not, we don't think we can stop it, quite honestly. And if you're looking at it realistically, chances are it can't be stopped, but we can retard it a little bit. We can slow it down. We can make people see it. We can lay the groundwork for future action, if you will.
Well, we need to make sure, I think the first thing we have to do is stop them from setting precedents. And as long as we can do that on a legal aspect, then no other state, no other city, county, anything like that would have precedents in order to use it as a subject to win their legal side. So I think as long as we can do that, we got to fight hard enough to make sure no precedents is set. So, yeah, there's that. And quite frankly, I'd like my children to live here without being robbed.
Our children aren't going to move here. That's
Well, our grandchildren,
it's
you know, our grandchildren involved in that too. So, you know, when the people that we leave behind, we would like them to have the opportunity to come here without being robbed.
Gaines, it's interesting that you bring that up, the 2030, because, you know, was it last week? Last week we talked about the 30 by 30 agenda getting gutted in the omnibus bill.
Didn't.
American Stewards had a article this week. Multiple states are still pursuing the 30 by 30 agenda, and
they are here too.
It's interesting, the states. So some of these names are going to be the usual suspects. Other ones going to surprise you. So California just released their 2025 progress report, and they've put over 1 million acres in coastal waters into a protected status in just 1 year. New Mexico, there's another one. There's another one that's a frequent flyer on the Tyranny train or plane. Governor Grisham signed Executive Order 2021-052 to protect 30% of all New Mexico lands by 2030, and another 20% for climate stabilization by 2050. And they're taking the grift. They're doing the grift nonstop. The next one, New York, Governor Hochul signed Assembly Bill A5390B, setting conservation goals for the state to combat the biodiversity and climate crisis. They're looking at what is it? 29% of the lands in New York being under government control by 2023 or 2030. I'm sorry. Okay, now here's where it gets interesting, because they call these honorable mentions. So Montana, even though they don't have a state policy for achieving the international 30 by 30 goal, they do have the Montana Great Outdoors Program with the goal of protecting over 1 million acres. So apparently in Montana, there's not enough land owned by the government yet. They need to get more. And the other honorable mention, and you guys are going to love this. This may set some people off.
Ooh.
Florida. More than 907,000 acres have been acquired by the Florida Forever program. Since 1963, Florida has invested approximately $8.5 billion to conserve more than 4 million acres of land for environmental, recreation, and purposes. So the agenda is still out there, even though it's been gutted. The agenda is still out there, and so you just got you need to be aware. You need to be informed. It's one of the reasons why I'm starting to talk about these articles I see on American Stewards on their Liberty Matters email, because it brings light to all these things, and it affects us all.
Yeah, so so that conversation came up too. It wasn't just about live streaming it. It was about calling our neighbors that we have on the first call list and making sure that they can come over and they can also record what's happening so that we have documentation by several people and not just me, myself, or Garen himself and that kind of thing. So
Well, we had a former prosecuting attorney.
he walked us through and told us what to do. Kansas
is a single consent state, a single party state. So it doesn't matter if they want to be filmed or not. We can film them. The key there is you don't put hands on them. If they force their way in, you tell them that you do not consent, and you film them the entire way, and you let them make the mistake.
Well, I'm sorry. If they force themselves in, I'm going to prosecute. I'm going to file a complaint because they forced their way in, and for them to force their way in, they hurt me.
That's what I said. That's what I was going at. So
is that where you're going at? Okay. Yeah.
Because
you would have to like literally push me over to get in.
But here's the thing about it. This is key. This is key to the conversation, right? You cannot comply your way out of tyranny. And while it seems a little hyperbolic to say this, but what we're seeing on display here is petty tyranny. These people, they've already let it be known that the taxpayers of this county are their personal credit cards, or the
out loud on film.
They let us know that. They let us know that they don't care if you can't pay your taxes. Just sell your property. They said that out loud. And now with the public notice of this resolution, they've basically told everybody, hey, you're going to do what we tell you to, or else we're going to go to a judge and we're going to arrest you. If you get violent, you're going to get arrested, and we'll see you in court, or you'll do what we tell you to. Right. And as far as, and here's the thing, I had this conversation with Tag, and I shared it with the group. So one of the reasons we moved here is because at the time it looked like it was a very free county, had a sheriff that looked like he was
constitutional, which apparently he is not.
Pro-constitutional. It looked like a good place to move in that regards. It has changed in the last 3.5 years. And Tag made the comment. He said, we may be the tip of the spear, and I'm tired. I don't want to be the tip of the spear. I've been the tip of the spear twice already. Once with the Gulf War, deployment there to the combat zone, and then once when we made the decision to not comply with the mandate. Yeah. I don't want to be the tip of the spear, but the simple fact is, and you can't ignore it, is maybe us and everybody else who has moved into this community were put here for a reason, so that we can be the tip of the spear, so we can be the people breaking around. I don't want to do it. I'm going to be completely honest with you. All I want to be is left alone. And I think there's a lot of people in the same boat that I am. And the petty tyrants in this country are going to find out in very short order that the worst people to deal with are the men that just want to be left alone.
And the women.
And that's not a threat. I'm not threatening anybody. I'm not. In fact, I'm in this case, I am not condoning any violence unless
we would never do that.
Unless an agent of the county lays their hands on you or is forcibly breaking something open without a warrant. I do not advocate violence. In fact, I say don't do it.
So Gregory, we actually have him involved. He's got the papers. He's seen everything. He's asking for more information. A lot of the guys, they were focused on buildings and that kind of thing. And when I said, hey, so we have some constraints on cottage laws, that kind of thing, apparently So I found out 2 years ago,
Mhm.
2.5 years ago, somewhere in there, I had to have a license for my greenhouse. And if I didn't get that license and let them come in and inspect and get the USD involved, I cannot sell more than 7 plants a year. And so y'all know me. But anyway, I didn't comply. And so now I'm like, holy crap, what am I going to do? So I either just don't sell or do something like that. Well, everybody was like, so we were actually talking to Chris Colbeck about that. He asked if there was anything like that. And I said, yes, there is. They're tying our hands at every end. And so that now he'll get a hold of that information and hopefully we can get some of that taken care of. So yeah. Yeah. It's something.
Which shirts, Anti? You know what? Honestly, I'm done making shirts. If somebody wants to buy a shirt that's in our bonfire store or one of our designs, they can order it from us. But I'm not making any more shirts.
I think he said, like, I'm tired. Yeah, everybody says come up with that shirt, and then nobody buys them. Sell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there, and then that's it. So yeah, we are trying to earn our money. We've got to put some stuff down on the land and get some things done. It's time to start focusing on our land and getting things done. So what festivals we do, they're far and few between. So
yeah.
But I don't know, Spags. So you're on here. I'll call Tara tomorrow if I remember. Are we going Sunday?
I thought we were.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure. I just wanted to verify with you. I'll put our reservation in for Sunday. Hopefully it's not too late. I think side dishes, but I'll find out from Tara. And then I hear there's a dessert competition. I was thinking like my mad banana pudding cheesecake pie. So I don't know. We'll see. See what happens. Did you see the trophy? Oh, you didn't see the trophies. There's trophies. I would love to have a trophy, not the runner-up trophy.
You can't comply your way out of tyranny.
Where'd that come from? Oh, from Anton?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. Spags Mania left out of here. I don't know. I'll just call Tara. So not a big deal.
What she's talking about is Midwest Preparedness Festivals having the first ever Midwest Preparedness Appreciation potluck dinner on Sunday, right?
Is that what it is? I thought it was just like an OG something or whatever. I don't know.
I thought it was. It sounded like an appreciation dinner to get everybody that's been to this festivals together to say thank you and just commune.
Hell, I don't know. So anyway, but I know Doug and Nadine saw it. They plan on being there because Doug saw it. Doug didn't have the information. Nadine got a hold of me, and Nadine's like, "Hey, where'd you see this?" I'm like, "Oh, it's on the 20th. Here's where it's at," and I sent the information over. So
Skane says we need permanent protesters. Yeah,
no.
I got a job.
Yeah, can't afford that.
I got a job, and most everybody else has got a job or they're working on.
And here's the deal: you're going to be a professional protester, and look what happens. Your credibility goes down the drain. So why don't you just show up when it's important and hold your line, right? Hold the line. And so as long as you hold the line, then what's the issue? So why do you have professional protesters? Nobody's going to pay you for that. You ain't got George Soros is sitting over here getting ready to pay you for that.
Posters. We need some of those permanent protest posters.
So basically that wouldn't work either because you actually have to have a license for that. So one of the things that Amber, one of our neighbors, was talking about, and it was her idea, and she was talking to her husband. We're thinking about actually going ahead and copying off this ordinance and then having a bunch of people kind of pitch in, and we can go buy, like, we could afford to get some. We could totally do it. Go get some of the no trespassing signs and then walk, we wouldn't walk. We'd have to drive because you got to get to all your neighbors. But yeah, and relative, it's Kansas, right? So you're talking 10-mile radius, 20-mile radius, sometimes 40-mile radius. And you just kind of go around to each house and go, hey, here's what came out. Here's the ordinance. Would you like a no trespassing sign? And that should be enough to get them informed and go, holy crap, yes, I want one of those right now. And then they'll go buy their own. They'll take one, go buy their own, and get all their stuff together and be at this meeting. So that's kind of the plan. I think it's a great idea. I just got to figure out if I have permission to do that at work. I know you could. You could probably print out like 30 or so, right?
No, we can get them made.
Huh?
We could get them made. That's
just take them to UPS or something like that.
It's not a problem.
Do you want me to take that into town and get that done tomorrow?
No.
Okay. So you'll take care of it? So that's kind of what we were thinking, because not everybody gets the paper and not everybody's online looking at the paper online. They're looking at other things. So what we're kind of thinking is if we could just put it in front of them and go, here's what came out and here's what they're planning on doing. We can get a lot of people on board and have people show up. If we show up by the masses, more butts in the seat, we can stop this crap. So
Indiana Mike made a very, very interesting and pointed comment that I really liked. You know, he made the comment, we were talking about everything that's going on with the county and all that. And he made the comment that they are choosing rules over relationships. Mm-hmm. And that right there is probably the biggest thing, is they're doing this stuff and destroying any political capital they have with a lot of people here.
Which is so freaking funny, because the only reason why any of them got voted in is because they're good old boys. They grew up here. It's the only reason why they're in office. Are you freaking kidding me? And you just turned your back on everybody in here for some money from the solar company, for some money for somebody trying to do something. That's not what it's about, man. It's about the people.
Let's see here. Skane says, I'd love a copy of that newspaper article ready to hand out.
Yeah, we'll get you some.
Let's see here. What was Anti say? Man, I was slapped by the universe today. Someone came up to me and asked me for a Band-Aid. I didn't even have one in my daily bag after doing a medical thing for folks on YouTube.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't. Yeah, I've got a Band-Aid. I got a Band-Aid in my daily bag. I got a tourniquet too. So if I have to poke a hole in somebody, I can patch them up and tourniquet them and save them.
So, Skanes, if you want to do that, go ahead and make them, and you can turn them into the local paper. I have noticed the last month, every single paper has them in there. Like, I haven't seen these since the 80s, like the whole Iranian war and missile crisis, that kind of thing. I haven't seen them for a long time, and now they're showing up in the paper. So make them, submit them. Do it. I mean, people are pissed. It's just commissioners don't get it. They just don't get it. So bless their hearts. It's just a mess.
Okay. I think we talked about those people enough.
All right.
So
are you diving deeper? Is this somewhere I want to get up and walk away?
Oh, well, actually it's Len's fault.
No. I'm not asking that. Is this something that I can represent my company with? This is something I need to walk away from.
Well, Len said something about the Epstein.
I need to walk away.
Changing your name to Epstein.
Hey, I love you guys. And totally, it's not that I don't agree with you, that I do agree with you. And I know I don't have a name tag on, but we do live by something at work. And no matter where we are, what we're dressed like, no matter what we're doing, we do represent our company, although you guys have no idea where I work. But it's okay. G can take this over, and he loves this part. So I'm going to check out. You guys be at least 10% better tomorrow than you were today, and I love you all. Have fun.
So I mentioned burning political capital, and the Trump administration has burned a ton of political capital unnecessarily. This is probably politically, this is probably the dumbest thing I've seen in a long time. You know, and the funny thing about it is it's about the Epstein case, and quite frankly, that's a look over here thing. That's a look over here. And if you notice, the past couple of months, anytime something's going on that's really important, the Trump administration starts talking about the media or talking about the Epstein files, and it becomes the topic du jour of the media. Quite frankly, you know, I said this on somebody's live stream earlier today. If you honestly think that somebody in the quote unquote political elite is going to suffer any consequences for their associations with Epstein or his island or anything like that, that's naive. Seriously. They're not playing 4D chess. Trump administration is not playing 4D chess. In fact, they came out, was it today or yesterday, and said that there is no list, right? It's a distraction. It is a distraction, and it's meant to keep you from looking at what's really going on. And quite frankly, you know, I've said it before. I voted for Trump the first time because he wasn't Hillary Clinton. I voted for him the second time and the third time because I thought he was the best man for the job compared to who everybody else was running. My faith in him is gone. You know, I never was a Trumper, and I never was fully on the MAGA train. But it's, how do I put this? He went to Washington D.C. and I'm not going to say he was infected by the rot that's there, but you cannot help but having that touch you and change who you are and the way you behave, you know. And quite frankly, Trump's a Democrat. He's always been a Democrat. The only reason that he went to the Republican Party was because the Democrats turned to the left, and it was bad for business, right? You know, and I'm not sitting here bad mouthing and say he doesn't do anything right. His administration's done a lot right. In fact, Tag and I had this discussion the other day. We debated it because he's of the opinion that nothing good will come from the Trump administration, and that they are no different than the Democrats. And my take on it is, yes, they are different than the Democrats. They're just not different enough to stop what's going on, right? If anything, like I said before, he's buying us time. Even not releasing the Epstein files and saying that there is no list, they're still buying us time. Gregory says, need to watch the movie The Illusionist. Everything is not what it seems. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all propaganda. You know, and we all succumb to it at some point. You know, that the hope is that A, you don't succumb to it very often, and B, if you should succumb to it, that you're able to realize it and you're able to get out of it and get back on the right track. You know, and the stuff that the DOJ is doing and the people that the DOJ is going after, all seem to be low-hanging fruit. But even with that, okay, who's he? Trump said today to release everything. Yeah, even if they release it, I have no faith that it's going to contain everything that needs to be in it or should have been in it. Let's put it that way, or was in it. I have no faith in that. And I have no faith that anybody that is associated with that's in a position of power is going to suffer any consequences. Plain and simple. Because if they were going to suffer consequences, They could have gotten low hanging fruit. I understand the whole investigation thing and all that, but they could have, instead of yanking people that supported him on this, not on this, but supported him, instead of yanking them around with the whole handing out the file thing to the social media people, and then coming up and saying that there is no list, it was unnecessary. So why'd they do it? The only outcome so far has been burning political capital that they can sparsely do without. Redefining reality is constantly happening. Spin, advertising, media, perspective for every story. Literally everything is trying to convince you of something. Heck, we did it to ourselves. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Rescue says, I think there's a bigger thing underway on the 2020 election stuff, which would then flip all these things he did. Who knows? Again, the whole 4D chess thing never flew in my book. And here's the thing: after being in Washington D.C., and I realized I was just a lowly peon there when I was stationed there. And Lynn, you can probably back me up on this. Tell me I'm I'm not on target. But the thing about Washington D.C. is it's a very simple place. You got people that are in positions of power that do a lot of bad stuff. It gets covered up. It gets misdirected. There's all kinds of misdirection to keep them from looking bad. And everything they do is for one of two things: either power or money. Power or money. And that's all it's about. It's not about helping the people, and let's face it, the whole Trump agenda, if it weren't making America a better business environment, thus making it stronger financially, thus making it stronger on the world stage, having more clout, more power, and keeping the military industrial complex going, they wouldn't care about us. It wouldn't. We would not matter. We don't matter to most of them. Well, Greg's going there. All the CP that happening just got washed away. Everything. Yes, absolutely. Rescue says the average American has been sitting on the sidelines getting lazy, while power people made moves for more. Absolutely. I mean, look at the compliance. Look at the compliance during the COVID thing, the COVID pandemic. Look at people that came out and if you talk to them personally, said they knew it was a scam. They complied. Why? Because they needed the job. They were in hawk over their head. They were in debt so far that they could not survive from paycheck to paycheck, and they did exactly what they were told. The medical industry was so overwhelmed that nurses and doctors across the country had time to make TikTok videos. That's how overwhelmed it was, and that's what a big crisis it was. DC is Hollywood for unattractive people. Everyone is fake and out for themselves. Absolutely. And the thing is, I said that we were just peons. It's so blatant and it's so obvious that anybody that's paying attention could see it. And I guarantee you, with the corruption of the culture since the early 90s, what's that, 30 plus years now since we were there, Len? With the corruption of the culture, I guarantee you it's just gotten worse. And there's a line from Alexander Solzhenitsyn, the Gulag Archipelago, and I'm going to paraphrase this. All right, so don't take this as a direct quote, but he makes the comment that the state lied to the people, and the people knew that the state was lying to them, and the state knew that the people knew that they were being lied to, and everybody pretended that it wasn't happening. And that's kind of where we are as a country. You know, we're not quite that far gone yet, but we're headed down that road. You know, the slippery slope of stuff like this, the slippery slope of the Palantir AI, you know, the slippery slope of pretending that things aren't the way they are just to keep people from being upset, you know, and it's happening. It's going that way. You know, he also had a comment or a paragraph in the book where he talked about the NKVD coming and taking people away in the middle of the night. And you want to look up the exact quote, go look up "and we burned in the camps," Alexander Solzhenitsyn. And he talks about how instead of cowering in their apartments, what would have happened if they met the security apparatus head on and made those people wonder if they were going to go home at night. Now, I say this, and here's the reason why I'm saying this. And I am not advocating violence, but the left has already gone down that road. We've seen it over the past couple of weeks that they're starting to physically attack, like shooting federal officers. The left has already decided they're going to do that. Do you realize in the last 2 weeks, there was a incident in Tennessee where a free Palestinian person went into a church and killed a couple of ladies. This was on Sunday. Killed a couple of ladies and wounded about 4 or 5 others. Then there was an incident earlier this week. There were 80 shots fired at a church in Minnesota, Michigan, someplace around there, someplace up in the Rust Belt. But there were 80 shots fired. You know, it's becoming more dangerous out there. People are so scared nowadays that you can't mention anything good or positive. It freaks them out. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, there's the link to the thank you, Anti. Here. Okay, I'm gonna recommend his book, the Gulag Archipelago. If you've never read it, I highly recommend you read it. Get it from the library. Read it as much as you can. It's a very long read. Seriously, it's like 1,500 pages. The edited, the unabridged version is over 2,000 if I remember correctly. But it's a huge read. But he wrote it so that it could be a testament to the people that got thrown into the gulags through the Stalinist purges and stuff, and a testament to what happened to the Russian people. And it basically lays out the roadmap of how it all happened, and you can see parallels. You can see the parallels throughout history through the late 20th century and into the 21st centuries that are going on. You know, so I highly recommend the book. It's not for everybody, but you should at least try to at least read the first part of it, right up to about the time he gets thrown into the camp. It's very, very illuminating. What else is going on out there? What other news stories? So you guys have seen all the stuff that's going on in Europe, right? You see Spain. Spain is starting to fight back against the invaders. You have to wonder if there's an El Cid there in Spain right now that's willing to kick them out of the country, kick the Moors out of the country like El Cid did. I don't know. We'll see. Problem is, there are agents of the state and people in Spanish society that are full-on supporters of the invasion, just like here. Paris has been burning again. It's riot season in France, so they are burning stuff, and surprisingly, shockingly, as a matter of fact, Britain decided they were tired of the migrants coming over on the little inflatable boats. So they are literally paying France. They are literally paying France to go out and slash these boats and keep them from getting into the ocean, from leaving the French coast to get to Britain, which was shocking to me. The reconquest is starting. Yeah, I don't think it's gone that far. They're starting to fight back, though. It's the first step. The question is, which side is the state going to come down on? I think we know if it comes to that in America, I think we know where the bureaucratic state and the leftist activists are going to fall on this matter. In fact, they've already fallen on it, and they're doing everything they can. You've got Soros-funded prosecuting attorneys in all these major cities that are catch and release. I saw one that I guess it happened sometime late last week in Denver. A convicted 30-something-year-old child predator was caught on film going onto elementary school grounds and trying to kidnap an 11-year-old boy. It's on camera. You can see it right there. The prosecuting attorney in Denver, or the wherever the suburb, it may have been one of the suburbs. It was in the Denver metropolitan area. Refused to press charges against him because he was found incompetent, and he couldn't stand trial. So instead of putting him in a institution, they just released him back on the streets. So he's back out on the Denver streets. No telling what's going to happen the next time he tries to do it. But if something happens, the blood of an innocent child is going to be on the prosecuting attorney's hands, as far as I'm concerned. And if that happens, if something like that happens in our area, I'm going to make damn sure that prosecuting attorney is run out of town. And here's a simple fact. Here's a simple fact. Everything that we complain about, Angela made the comment. Somebody mentioned to her that we needed to remind the county commissioners that it's 1775, and I was like, no, that you will get laughed at. And here's why I say that. If we were going to get that upset and we were going to pull a 1775 thing against the powers that be here, it would have happened a long time ago. So those are comments, and I freely admit I've got shirts for sale that are like that, but those are comments that people that watch football and NASCAR and soccer moms, they buy T-shirts with that type of sentiment on it, or they post it on Facebook because A, it's safe, and B, they're not committed. It makes them feel good. All right. The only shirt that I have, actually, I got two shirts. I've got two shirts that I wear that say something back, or say something on them that I truly believe. Number one is my Never Alone shirt. As long as we're walking with God and we've got community, we're never alone. I fully believe that. And the other one is that comment right there is exactly why I need a gun. Oh yeah, Lynn, absolutely. If this was 150, 200 years ago, county commissioners would have been run out on a rail, tarred and feathered and run out on a rail a long time ago. Seriously. Again, I'm not advocating violence. The problem is that violence is a two-sided thing. You can not want violence, but if the other side wants violence, there's going to be violence, right? And so we as a people, and we as forward-thinking, prepared-minded people, patriots and conservatives, know from history that things like this happen. All right, that sometimes it gets to the point where that there is no option, and that's the reason why the founding fathers put it in the Constitution. So while we don't condone violence, and we're not advocating violence, what we are advocating is we are advocating preparing yourself for violence. All right. The weak man is probably the most dangerous man you'll ever meet, because he has no option other than to resort to violence. All right. So with that in mind, we prepare to have to deal with weak men. And there's a lot of weak men in politics. A lot of weak men in politics these days. A lot of weak women too. You know, so we understand that there's a darkness in everybody, and instead of trying to push it down and say it doesn't exist, we embrace it. It's one of the things Nick Freitas did a great talk on this. If you can find it, he talks about, the strong man, the man that protects his family, embraces the darkness and learns to control it. Right. And that's what being prepared. That's everything we talk about, the full spectrum preparedness, the building communities, the everything. This is what it's about. It's about preparing ourselves for bad times and making it so if the time comes, we can control the darkness. Hope that made sense. I'm trying to be philosophical here and it's not working. It's too late in the evening. So again, what's the lesson from this week? Number one is we need to be involved in local politics. If you're not involved in local politics, I'm not saying go out and run for office. I'm not the run for office type of guy, because as I've gotten older, my gas meter is running on empty, and I'm more apt to tell somebody to F off than to debate them logically, so there's that. But you should be able to find somebody. To run for office. Brown County, just north of us, up where the Hacks live, they kicked their entire county commission out and got brand new people in there that were like-minded. And by all accounts, things have gotten better up there. Part of being a man is being dangerous. If it weren't feared, respected, you are all a beta at best. Absolutely. And it goes, what is it? They don't have to like me and they don't have to respect me, but they damn well better fear me. That's kind of the way you have to approach life these days. Actually, I say these days, life has always been like that. Again, they fear you because you are a violent man, you are a dangerous man, but you're controlled. Yeah. Okay. You guys got anything you want to talk about? I've been hogging this up, and I kind of took us into a dark place, and I didn't mean to. It's just been a lot of this stuff's been weighing on my mind recently, and I just felt like I needed to get it out. Bless their hearts. Whose heart's there, Skeins? Fish orange wide eyes. I have no idea what you're talking about. Skeins is talking cryptic.
Because I know what you're talking about. Because I was talking about the commissioners wanting me to draw as a solicitor marks.
Sometimes I just feel like don't feel like being nice. Just leave me alone. Absolutely. That's exactly what I was saying earlier, Gregory. I want to be left alone. I don't want to be at the tip of the spear. I just want to do my thing here. I'm not hurting anybody by the stuff I'm doing here. If what I'm doing on my property hurts my neighbors, yeah, somebody needs to get involved. But what I'm doing here doesn't hurt anybody. The only people it's hurting is the people that want to control what I do on my property.
Big ad.
Be a fisher of men. Absolutely. The Christian context of that aside, as a preparedness person, somebody that's trying to build community. I've said it before, it's all about painting a picture. It's all about creating a narrative, and our narrative and our picture needs to be better than the other sides. That's one of the reasons why, we had a very long talk this weekend at the meeting about not being that guy, not being the guy that says, well, I'll just shoot them if they come on property. No, we're not those people. We are the people that when we're sitting in the county commissioners meeting, The county commissioners know that we are capable of doing that, but we're sitting in the meeting and we're telling people that are saying that, no, that is not the way we handle this. Right. And we will continue to say that until it's not applicable anymore. And quite frankly, when it becomes not applicable is completely up to the petty tyrants in our lives. Completely up to them. And they're going to play the victim. They're going to overstep their bounds. And it may not happen here. It may not happen where you are. It's going to happen someplace. Guarantee it's happening right now, someplace in the United States. The petty tyrants are going to overstep their bounds, and they're going to run into that person that secretly builds a killdozer, and then they're going to play the victims. Right? And that's what, hey, I got a birthday coming up in 2 weeks? I got a birthday coming up.
You have a live on your birthday.
And if anybody wants to send me a birthday present, you guys can send me a killdozer. Johnny B at Appalachia B, TriStar Trading Company, has a great killdozer flag. You could send me that. Send me that for my birthday if you want to be that person. All right.
Oh
I usually don't.
Fly it?
Yes.
Oh, geez.
I usually don't do stuff like that. In fact, the only thing I want for my birthday, I'm going to buy for myself. But if anybody else wants to do something, you guys, you can do that, and I will proudly fly it, and I will mention you, and I will shower great praise upon you. All right.
Is that what you're telling me you want for your birthday?
No, I'm going to buy my birthday. Don't buy me any birthday presents.
Well, I just got you a hog, so
I'm going to buy my own.
well, I just secured a hog.
Let's see here. Then you'll be old like me, and at least for at least 6 months. Yeah. I'm not old. I'm the same age as old people, but I'm not old. My body thinks it's old, but I'm not. I'm deep down inside. I'm still a kid. I laugh at fart jokes, and if my eyesight was better and my hands were better, I'd still be painting my little toy soldiers. Seriously, I'd still be doing that stuff. I'd probably still be gaming if I hadn't lost it one night and cursed at a 12-year-old online because he was being a little turd. Oh, yeah. Good luck on that one, Anti. I don't think I've been spanked. Oh, look who came in. Ghost. Everybody quit talking about him. That's one of the things, since Ghost is in here, it's one of the things the changes on the t-shirts. I've got 6 designs that I talked with Ghost about. Excuse me. And I'm trying to figure out how to do them, sell them on demand, how to get orders and have Ghost make them. I love throwing Ghost some business when I can, because he does a great job and he's like-minded.
And the t-shirts last forever.
And the t-shirt, yeah, the t-shirt. I'm going to say that the t-shirts that Ghost makes, and he shut his website down. So if you need custom printing, you're going to have to contact him personally. Hope you don't mind me saying that, Ghost. But the t-shirts he made for us last a lot longer than your average t-shirt that you get from Nine Line or these other places. All right, much better quality shirts. Lynn says it's not the age, it's the mileage. My inner 12-year-old still controls the humor most of the time. Absolutely. I laugh at stuff that's so inappropriate. In fact, I laughed at something so inappropriate that I passed out one day, right in front of family and friends over at the old place. I laughed so hard. You can actually laugh so hard that you pass out. And it wasn't because I was drinking it. You literally lose.
You had a heart attack.
You literally lose consciousness because blood stops flowing to your brain. You're laughing so hard. I did not think that was a real thing till it actually happened to me. And it was some inappropriate cartoon that was on I don't remember where they found this thing. But it was completely inappropriate.
And my dad watched it too.
Yeah. But, and it's just getting up there. I'm not a door kicker anymore. This is one of the reasons why I don't advocate violence, because my ability is still there, but it's not nearly as good as it was 35 years ago. They're the powers that be are probably lucky that I wasn't where I am now when I was in the Marine Corps or shortly thereafter, because my take on things would have been completely different. If I didn't have a family and I knew what I knew now when I got out of the Marine Corps, I would have been one of those guys. Seriously, I would have been. Now I'm one of those guys adjacent. Far Side cartoons are the best. Oh yeah. No, this was an animated show that was on TV, and it was just maybe one of you guys know it. The setup is the kid's inner voice is like manifested and is constantly saying everything that a preteen brain says to him, but it's saying it out loud, and it's affecting everything that's going on in the cartoon. Imagine you guys in the chat. Imagine what it was like when you were 13, 14 years old, and what was running through your head and the things that you were doing in private, and imagine your inner voice discussing that out loud.
And watching your father-in-law and your brother-in-law watching it with you, laughing.
But I don't even remember what the name of it was, and I probably would not watch it again because it's so inappropriate. But at the time, it was funny.
Something Ian made you watch.
But okay, guys, look, we're at an hour and 20 minutes. I think I'm kind of getting to the end of the day. Did you put the birds away? I got to go out and put the birds away, and I gotta close up shop outside. I hope that you guys don't walk away from this in too dark a mood. All right, like I said, our image is not the narrative that we want is not a dark one. For everything that I talked about tonight, the counter to that is building your community, becoming food independent, becoming modernly self-reliant. These are all the things that we do to combat and inoculate ourselves against the type of things that we've talked about tonight. And it's doable. We're proof positive here. I would love it. I would love for anybody in our chat to come out and visit. You can't stay at my house, but you can come out and visit the area, and I will introduce you to everybody in the community, and I will show you around, and I'll show you what we're building here. It really is special, and it's repeatable. That's the cool thing about it, is it's not rocket science. It's just a bunch of people that started talking and started having conversations. Seriously. So you can do it. Going forward, tomorrow night is the next video in the Urban Survival, the City Survival 101 series. It is about water. Tell me, anybody that watched that last week, anybody that was on there last week, was it too long? I noticed the views on the first one. The first one was only about 18, 19 minutes long, and it has double the views of the next one. I think we covered a lot of ground, but if it's too long and I need to shorten it, you guys say something here. All right, let me know if I'm going too long. I covered a lot of ground, and I thought I passed a lot of good information on. And right now, that's what it looks like is going to happen tomorrow night too. Because being about water, I'm going to be able to show you some of the stuff that we've bought and we have here at the homestead. I'm going to be able to talk about the stuff that's going on. How far is a decent hotel? I'm coming to a point in my life where I might start doing some road trips. I don't know, probably 15, 20 miles at the most. I don't know. There's a couple of hotels up in Holton that a lot of people come in to go dove hunting and pheasant hunting in this area. So I don't know how good the hotels are. I think one of them is a Holiday Inn. I'll have to look it up. I'll look it up and I'll send it to you. I'll let you know. Hey, is that a Holiday Inn Express up there in Holton?
No. Red Roof Inn, and what's the other one?
So there's a Red Roof Inn and another one.
I can't remember.
Susie said it was fine and informative. Okay. Yeah, and Anti says it's never too long if you're passing good information. Well, and here's the deal. Here's the deal. I do these things and I do them because I enjoy sharing the information with you guys. There's a part of me that would like to reach more people. We're getting to the point where more people need to be aware of this stuff. YouTube is throttling not only our channel, but a ton of other channels our size and telling our message. They're throttling them. You can do everything that they tell you to do to help, help the algorithm get you going. But they do not want people becoming self-sufficient. They do not want to be, they do not want people being self-sufficient and independent. So that's why they push. That's why they push the content that they push, and it is what it is. I would like to be able to reach more people though. Let's see. I don't need much Wi-Fi, functional plumbing, and AC. 5 stars not required. Then we'll talk about it offline.
Talk about casino. We got the casino.
Oh yeah, the casino. I forgot. Duh. I work for the tribe. The casino. The casino is a 10-minute drive from our place, and it's got everything.
5 miles.
It's got the amenity. Yeah, it's 5 miles, but it's 10 miles, 10-minute drive because it's dirt road all the way. Well, almost all the way. Yeah, the casino. Yeah. You can even camp there. If you got a camper, you can
camp here.
bring your RV. Yeah, Skanes, you can camp in our front yard. Well, he needs AC. He wants
He can
okay.
fill up his RV.
He doesn't need. Lynn says he needs AC. He doesn't need it. He wants AC.
Does his RV have AC?
I don't know if he's got.
Oh, you don't know.
I don't know if he's got an RV. You got an RV?
So he's gonna want the casino. They have an RV campground and hotel. So
yeah, if you got an RV, we'll vet you. We got to vet you before we let you come on the property. But
he has to be vetted hard.
Well, no, I'm tired. No, I think Lynn's been vetted enough in our life.
So?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I'm gonna find you two out at 7:00 in the morning on a Sunday drinking Jack
Probably.
Daniels.
I think we're too old for that. And it was tequila.
Yeah, Prairie Bend Casino and Resort. I don't mind saying that now because we got rid of our PO box and now our address is on the LLC.
No, it's not.
No, our address.
Forwarding address.
Our
I did forwarding address.
Oh.
But it's okay. You can do that.
All our business cards say our address now.
I have a forwarding. Oh, did you change the business card?
Yeah, I haven't ordered them yet.
Don't order them.
Susie calls her tent her mobile home. Absolutely.
Yeah. Bring it on.
Let's see. Lynn says no, he slept on the ground enough. He's got back.
Yeah, but it's fine. He wants the hotel. There's a spa in there. He could take us to the steakhouse for dinner.
Yeah, we don't. The second bedroom isn't up and running. That's why friends and family can't stay here very long.
It will be.
Eventually, if we can ever quit having to buy stuff to build gates and no trespassing signs and
County will just leave us alone.
new tires for the truck, if we can ever get all this stuff out of the way, And here's the deal.
Get side-by-sides fixed, the tractor fixed.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal. I could pay for all this stuff if I want to stay in debt. And I don't want to stay in debt. I want to get this car paid off and I want to get back to where we were so that they have nothing over us. And they really don't have anything over us right now. But
no, they're all fighting for a refund
Skeens has a tall blow-up mattress. Best sleep I had in months out in the tent.
One of those.
Yeah, I'm with you, Lynn. I'm not big on camping anymore. Done that enough past 3 or 4 years. Although I eventually, as soon as the heat goes away, I am gonna do some overnights out on the back of the property. Well, 27 hotels nearby, not in Holton. Holton's only got 2. Holton's
that's pulling up Topeka.
Holton literally has 2, 3 stoplights. That's how small a city it is.
Holton has 2 motels.
I'm saying it's got 3 stoplights. That's how small it is.
Yeah, 2, and it's not. And I think somebody bought the haunted hotel, which nobody would want to stay in anyway.
Check this out. This is stereotypical Northeast Kansas. Actually, any place in Kansas. So Holton has 3 stoplights and 2 Casey's. Think about that. 2 Casey's. Batteries, tires, and all the farm stuff keeps the products. The pockets empty. Absolutely. And I've been putting it off. I didn't want to do it. I'm gonna learn how to manage the Grumpy Acres Farm website, and I'm gonna take a bunch of crap off there that we don't sell and hasn't sold, and I'm gonna make it more flexible so we can start selling different things. Like we're gonna hopefully by the time harvest season comes up, I'll be able to get horseradish and comfrey root out there for people. I'd like to explore selling herbs and spices. Been doing the research on that. So hopefully, and then I got some other things I'm going to try to start doing and selling online too. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see if I can pull this off. If this old dog can learn how to run the website. Len says he's still USMC. I can make anything work. That said, I will only do voluntarily what is enjoyable. Yeah, the key word there is voluntarily. I don't know. I've slept in the truck a couple of times at campouts.
I have a soaker tub.
All right, guys, listen. Thanks for being here tonight. Really appreciate it. Always enjoy our time with you guys. If you're not a subscriber to the channel and you made it this far, go ahead and think about subscribing. Want to help the channel? Links down below, affiliate links, the Amazon General Store, and our website itself. If you want to buy something off the website, contact us first, and we'll let you know if it's available. Most importantly, guys, man, take everything that we said to heart and start doing the things in your daily lives that make the nuts and bolts of living a lifetime free mesh and work. Okay. Can't be sitting on the sidelines anymore. You got to be actively and purposely doing what it takes to be free and living a life of liberty. All right. With that said, you guys take care. Put your head on the pillow tonight. You better be able to tell yourself, hey, I'm better off than I was when I woke up. All right. Take care, guys.
Introducing Rockpot, the revolutionary portable slow-cooking appliance that keeps your meals warm for over 9 hours without the need for electricity or propane. Simply heat the rock tablet on your stovetop or over a fire, place it in the Rockpot with your ingredients, and enjoy perfectly cooked meals wherever you are. Plus, the exterior remains cool to the touch, ensuring safe handling on all your adventures. Get $10 off your first purchase by clicking on the affiliate link and using the code GrumpyAcres at checkout. Elevate your outdoor cooking experience with Rockpot today.